Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. We're going to look here at the average car enthusiast tool cart. Now I made this video because I haven't seen a single tour of this particular cart. This is the Craftsman's 5-drawer, and I'll have the actual stock number here in the lower left, right there. And basically, I wanted to look at this thing in the view of the average car enthusiast tool cart instead of having some, 5 million drawer rolling tool cart that weighs 750 trillion tons with, you know, um, 1 times 10 to the 364th number of tools in it. That wasn't the sort of cart I needed or wanted, and don't have the space for. So here I'm looking at this thing instead. So let's get started with a general overview of the tool cart. So what we have here is the mat, which actually came with the cart. And then these two magnetic trays, I think I got them both at Harbor Freight. So this is a K Tools assortment of mounts. So we have a nice paper towel mount. We have a screwdriver and can mount, and then a general mount. And then there's another one that I have in the garage. And then, of course, another magnetic tool tray. So I would recommend getting magnetic tool trays for everything. These are the wheels that came with it. These do not spin. These do, and they have the lock on them. There's two of them. And just to go back to that, the spinners recommend that they go on the handle side. The box is pre-drilled for the handle. It is not pre-drilled on the other side if you wanted to switch it around. And then here is, it just happens to be a Craftsman power strip, but it's the only magnetic one I could find. And then going around the back here, you see it's ribbed, and putting ribs adds strength to a flat panel, in case you ever wondered about that kind of thing. Now, one big drawback that I see to this box is that the top is fixed. It doesn't open. It doesn't flip open, I should say. And I think that this box would be well served to be flip open style, because this here is wasted space, just a gap. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at all the drawers, and then we'll go into it in detail. And so here we have the general drawer. This used to be the third drawer, but I kept reaching for all this stuff, and so I made it the first drawer. And then here we have all the stuff in which you turn something. So these are ratcheting wrenches, and then a single kit. Again, we'll go over these in detail. Here we have things involving nuts and bolts. Again, we'll go over this in detail. Things involving power and cutting. So pliers and PPE gloves and the dust mask, woodworking type of thing, earmuffs. And then there were safety glasses in this first drawer here. In the bottom drawer, a lot of room for potential, but I got a pair of chocks, a pair of hockey pucks for the car, some persuasion tools, Thor's hammer, and then this here is two 2x4s, and that is a inch torque wrench, inch pounds. As you can see, there's room here where there's potential. All right, let's get started on the details. All right, so the top drawer, we've got 3 tape measures, just because, 1 pair of safety glasses, a second pair, and some Surefire ear foam ear protection. And then sort of like the guy who does fittings for you, tape or a cloth tape measure. And then we have the world's best eraser. So I used this back in the engineering, and then now I use it to take off wax. Here we have a deburring tool. If you've never seen one of these, this is what they look like. That's what they are, a deburring tool. So you take the burr out of a pipe or whatever, that kind of thing. This is a punch. It's a spring-loaded punch. So, and then it'll punch for your. This is for reloading brass, but it's similar to the deburring tool, except that it allows you to use the outside to deburr the outside here. Total dissolved solids. This is a water meter test water harness. Here in South Florida, I'm one of those forehead sweaters, so I have a headband, stud finder, level, spare blades for the cutting tools. Micrometer, again, that was for reloading. I actually got out of it. All good. If you want to do it, go for it. Still highly recommended. And then over here, let me position the camera for you. Marking tools. And then adhesives behind it. So I have, I don't know, 100 to 300 different marking tools in here. Fat marker, carpenter's pencil, paint pens, another paint pen, regular pen, and then the keys for the box. Super glue, blue Loctite, some CLP lubricant, which is actually a pretty good, what's it called, for breaking bolts free. Teflon tape, electrical tape, super tape, black and white, and then Velcro, 1 wrap. Just get it, all right? I recommend it. Triple A's, double A's. I only buy lithium as ions now. They don't leak, and it's the way to go. They last forever, so they don't die on you. Gaffer's tape, silver duct tape, and then VHB tape, which holds everything. All right, let's go to number 2. All right, this here, the screwdrivers, are Blade and Phillips. Torx, these are picks. And they all come in the same kit. And again, I'll put that stock number down in the video in the lower left. This comes in the kit, in the kit, in the kit. All this in the kit, and then it comes with like a little wheel, which has some standard edges on it. This is Harbor Freight. So it took the first opportunity to rust, and that's here in Florida in the humidity. So I just keep it there. And then over here, we have a set of ratcheting wrenches. And this whole box is primarily metric. Most cars are metric. When I started engineering school, everything was metric. When I went to work in Detroit in the automotive industry, everything was metric. The trucks, cars, everything. So if you're going to go with one set of wrenches. Get ratcheting wrench. So that's what I've heard from many people. If you can only afford one type of set, get ratcheting wrenches. You save yourself a lot of time. And then up here, Torx, metric, and standard keys. This came as a kit. And just so you know, Harbor Freight for that. This loads. This I got at Ace Hardware just because I needed something that was 1 inch. And the Kaizen foam, eBay. I found a seller that had 24 inch by 48 inch, one piece. And so I was able to cut it to size. And so just going back briefly to this kit has everything. So I'd highly recommend this kit if you're going to get just one set of screwdrivers. Alright. Now this, again, if the top opened on this box, this would be on top. But here we have nuts and bolts. So these impact all of them. Harbor Freight, half-inch metric. Everything that's chrome came out of one kit, one of those Craftsman toolbox, plastic toolbox things. And I wouldn't buy it at the $150 price that it's at now, but I got it on sale for $90. That was worth it, just for the ratchets. But these are all metric 12s, standard, or not, I shouldn't say that, shallow, metric shallow, 12 point, and then metric 3/8 deep, metric 3/8 shallow, 1/4 inch, metric 1/4 inch deep, 1/4 inch shallow, and then a 3/8 1/4 inch adapter, 1/4 inch extension, and then these impact extension, Harbor Freight, these U-joints, Harbor Freight, and this came with the kit again. This I had gotten a while back, just off Amazon, adapters. And then here, just sitting in here, is a breaker bar. So if you break this, you don't cry. This is only like 25 bucks or something. Whereas replacement ratchets can be 40, 50 and up for a good one. But a torque wrench, that's worth spending some money on. And I went ahead and bought myself a Sonic. Sorry about that. This is a 19 mil with a plastic liner for the wheels. That is basically how that particular wrench lives. Another 19 inch. I throw this on the impact. I'll show you that here momentarily. A couple of vice grips, kind of like the standard draw, and then needle nose. And then, like the hammers from earlier, some persuasion tools. So we have a large set of angle pliers. I forget what they're actually called. And then a handier, smaller set. And these have become my favorite type of pliers. Oh, it does go the other way. And a couple of crescent wrenches. This is a legacy wrench, over the years that I couldn't throw away. And then a more recent crescent wrench. And this one actually has a scale. back here, this is from Sonic. I bought Sonic sample pack, but it's a 3/8 extension. And these are the only real two SAE things. This is for spark plugs. This one for things like spark plugs in a lawnmower. And then, of course, your car, truck, normal size spark plugs. And then a gap measurement tool that I got from somewhere. I forget. Right here, quite possibly the best impact wrench out there. The Milwaukee Stubby in 1/2 inch. Otherwise, I'll be using a 3/8 all the time. But this baby will knock off a 100 foot-pound lug nut in about 1.5 seconds, then spin it off. And the beauty of this, the other beauty of the Stubby, is you can set the speed here. So number one, allows you to roll on a lug nut at about 10 foot-pounds. This way you can snug the wheel down and then come back later with that torque wrench. And then I have the world's most useful house tool, so impact driver, 1/4 inch. It takes any kind of 1/4 inch. So basically, I put furniture together with this for the same reason. I put it on one, and you won't strip anything. Pretty cool. And then for dealing with concrete, a hammer drill. It is regular drill and hammer, and again 2 speeds. And this is far more useful than the Ryobi I had for so many years. It served me well, but it served me slowly. This thing works a whole lot better of putting into concrete anchors. A couple of spare batteries, the chargers on my bench. The always useful pair of earmuffs. Always useful well, it's a digital tire pressure gauge. So you add 1.5, according to the NASCAR team, what this read was 1.5 low compared to what they use. 2 sets of gloves, the always useful zip ties. Another tire pressure gauge. I just wanted it. So I went ahead and got one thinking it would be a better resolution going from 0 to 45. Usually the middle of a gauge is the best resolution, most accurate. Snap ring pliers, always useful. Things like mountain bike forks. Set of punches. These are for leather, so they say. A stiff foam bar. You wrap sandpaper around this. Regular punches. Again, this was for woodworking. Never even used it, or at least not yet. So a 1/2 inch hole maker. Then here is a trim removal tool. And the way to think about this is think of it as a metal thumbnail. And it's really slick. I recommend you get one of these. They're all over Amazon. Terminal cleaner, battery terminals. Should probably get a new one. You always use some safety wire. Now, safety wire, can you work with it by itself? Sure, of course. You can do all things. Far easier is using a safety wire plier. So it clamps. So you hold it down, lock it, and then it spins. Ironically, it spins a lot easier if you're actually clamped on something. Heavy duty scissors. Call them safety scissors, but of course you can cut pennies with them. Regular dikes, small. Regular dikes, normal size, I guess. Or wire cutters. This is a pair of lineman's pliers, again from that Sonic sample set. Small needle nose. Wire cutters and strippers, always useful. And then the critical component for working with zip ties. This is a flush cutter. And so that is flush right there. So when you cut it near the head, it's nice and flat against that head instead of leaving an 1/8 inch piece of plastic that looks for every opportunity to cut something or rip it. Definitely want to avoid that. Alright, last drawer. Soft drawer, soft touch. Alright, again, this drawer has a lot of potential. So persuasion tools, Thor's hammer, two 2x4s, and a pair of rubber chocks. Rubber chocks for wheels, of course. And the 2x4s can also be used for wheels. And then the hockey pucks for the jack, if needed. And then this is just a 1/4 inch pound Torx wrench. I think it goes to 50. Shows 40, but I think it goes to 50. It's a bit narrow in its utility because it only takes 1/4 inch, but you can use an adapter in order to use sockets, like the adapter I had there earlier, the Lexavon. So room for something else. So that is the toolbox tour. Hope that guys helps you in choosing whatever it is you need for your setup. And I'll talk to you later.